take care of your fucking kids, man.
Take care of them, man.
Shit, man. We thought
all your kins.
we thought we'd bring up a probably sensitive topic to a lot of motherfuckers, from guys and girls all across the world. It's fucking daddy issues, fatherless children, or bad relationships with fathers. The effects it has on your life, your kid's life.
I know about 98% of you have had that.
Yeah,
fathers. Some people got them, some people don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. That's the problem. You know, it is without a doubt.
It's fucked up to do to leave your kids without a father.
I mean, yeah, to say the least. Like, you know, like to say the least.
Cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fucked up, I guess. You know, shame on you. But no, me personally, I believe that it is the root of every problem we have in society. I think can be tracked back to fatherless children.
Oh yeah.
You know, from crime to jail to any
gangs,
racism.
Yeah. I mean everything, man. I don't think that's related, but but there was a study done, just so we have a little layout and background of the shit. There was a study done by the U.S. Census Bureau in 2017. It was the most recent, and it's saying kids that don't have a father in the household are 4 times greater risk of poverty, 7 times more likely to be pregnant as a teen, more likely to have behavioral problems, to face abuse and neglect, twice likely risk of infant mortality, more likely to use drugs and alcohol, more likely to go to prison, more likely to be obese, more likely to commit crime, and twice as more likely to drop out of high school. And it was predicted in 2017 that 1 out of every 4 kids born don't have a fucking dad.
Damn.
You know what I'm
How
saying?
were they made if they don't have a dad?
I mean, they got.
What do you mean?
Nah,
We
man,
all know how that.
Yeah.
We all know.
See, when a guy and a girl like each other, we have to give that one a talk right now, man. We gotta give him the talk, man. Let's go a whole nother direction.
Damn.
So I mean, we could literally. I mean, I think these are pretty basic stats that you should fucking know. I mean, we all have our personal experiences with or without fathers. I don't know who wants to crack that Pandora's box open first.
Man, where do we begin? Shit. Oh man.
Years of neglect. That's where.
It's
just years.
See, I had mine and lost mine, and now he's dead to me.
Is he really dead?
Man, I don't.
And to me, he was just there but never there.
In
a weird sense of way.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know, man. Growing up was a little rough. Just my dad was there, but he was always out just hustling. And my dad was like my hero, because I mean, obviously, him being the only man in the house, I always wanted, and me being the only boy.
Oh, so you're all girls other than
girls,
you
yeah.
and Pops,
so I always just wanted to roll with that dude, to go see what's up. But that fool never wanted to take me, so I would have to cry and beg,
How old are we talking about right now?
Probably like 4.
Okay.
About 4. And then that fool was like, all right, you want to go? And then he would take me, and then that's when it all happened. He started just showing me how to break down heroin,
Damn.
how to fucking just start doing all this crazy shit, man. He would leave me in fucking just different locations with heroin in my pocket, and then that fool would dip, and then he would just have people show up, buy some drugs off me real quick, and then that fool would pick me up 3-4 hours later.
So you were one of his bottom bitches.
Basically.
His baby bitch. His baby bitch.
His baby bitch. Damn.
Yeah, nah, it was crazy, man. And I thought we were just hanging out. You know what I mean? I didn't even think nothing of it until I you know what I mean? I grow up and you fucking think about that shit like, damn, that nigga was making me go through some shit like that.
Yeah, right.
Fuck that fool.
That's crazy. I mean, so how long was he around then for?
Fuck.
So you saying this was around 4, 5, 6?
4 or 5, and then shit, man. The story's crazy. He was gone. Then after that, we were living down south, and then we moved up north, and then fuck, man. Then we just fucking moved from shelter to shelter, just me, my moms, and my sisters. Damn. And that fool was gone.
Just out the picture entirely. Just,
yeah, gone.
Just
Gone.
wilding?
That was
What,
out.
that fool was still at the store or what?
Chinatown, man. He went to the store one time and
Shit.
never came back.
Yeah.
Man.
Getting the milk fresh from the cow.
Yeah, to go make it himself, man.
Man, I mean, shit. I mean, you got like, what's you got a similar story over here, Fat Boy? Or?
Somewhat, not as crazy as Cheese over here, but my dad was probably gone by the time I was like in, I'm gonna say, fourth grade. When I was about 9. That's like I'll see him once. We'll go visit him like at least once a month, or like my bad, once a year. Like
Damn.
big holidays. I ain't see him on my
You
birthday.
guys would go visit him?
Yeah, we'll go visit him. We'll go visit him because he if it were like, oh yeah, I got your present, but you have to come pick it up for me. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Shit.
All right, and it wasn't even a
Damn.
present. It was just money. It was like, oh, all right, cool.
I mean-
I got money.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's all you saw of him every year after like
Yeah.
4th grade and shit.
And it was usually every fucking other random bitch's house eating some fucking crazy ass meal. Cause yeah, fucking one time.
Did he give you a plate at least, or it was just pick up the money?
I
and
didn't want to play, bro.
Oh.
They had fucking chicken feet. I was not
Oh,
into fucking
damn.
eating
Okay,
some fucking
yeah.
chicken feet. That's
For
disrespectful.
the holidays?
That's disrespectful. You into everything, man.
Hey,
So
it's
you had a
chicken
foot
feet.
fetish.
Hey, chickens walking their own
Chicken
shit. You can't eat their feet. That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
chicken feet.
Damn.
You get them chicken feet.
Chicken feet.
But yeah, he tried to. But then when we were past 20, he tried to come around, and it was like it's too late, man.
Damn.
We already know you're a
So-
piece of shit. We knew you were a piece of shit growing up now, but
Yeah.
you're kind of still a piece of shit. And it was just gotta learn.
You know what's
Damn.
funny
Gotta
is
learn you're a
like
piece of shit. Your kids know you are.
when we wanted to go see my dad too. We had to go look for this dude in some place named Chinatown, right? And we would have to ask literally one fucking crackhead, like, "Hey, have you seen this dude?" And he would go by like fucking millions of names, so we'd have to just like, say them all until they would be like, "Oh yeah, he's probably down that way," and then we'd go down that way, and then be like, "Hey, have you seen this guy?" "Oh yeah, he was here about 15 minutes ago. He's probably down that way."
Damn.
And then it would be like a whole hour just in fucking Bumville looking for this fucking dude, man, until we finally found him, man. This shit was crazy.
Open up all the flaps. Yo, you in here, blood? I can't knock, so I'm just gonna peek.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man.
That's nuts. I mean, I didn't. Shit, my shit wasn't really that crazy like that, but like it's its own situation. I was with my mom probably till I was about 5. My dad had joined the military. My mom and dad weren't together when I was born. So my dad would just come back every now and then after like stints, come visit my grandma in town. I'd see him, but then like around 5 or 6, he ended up getting full custody of me. He came back, got full custody of me. From that point on, I was like, damn, this nigga's my hero, bro. Because my mom was a young parent. She tried, but she had us way too fucking young. And me and my brother. So my dad came back, rescued me, so to say. I lived with, him, my stepmom, my sister. That ended up becoming a horrible situation. My dad was in the military, so he was gone, months at a time, an aircraft carrier. Westpac is 6 months out the year, you're gone, like straight. A lot of times you'd be gone for a month, come back for 2 months, be gone for 3 months type shit. So even though he wasn't in and out of jail or gone like that, he was still gone. And I think it definitely has some effects on us, growing up. All three of us,
definitely, definitely went the wrong way. Got caught up in some shit, school, getting into fights and not wanting to go to school, you know what I mean, all that shit, and all that shit was because no discipline, you know what I mean. Like if that fool would have been there, and he would have had discipline on me and my siblings, then we wouldn't have ended up the way we did. I'm not saying that it's like we ended up bad or anything like that, because some of my siblings are fucked up, but I'm talking about myself, like I didn't end up fucked up, you know what I mean? I have a pretty good job, get paid all right, you know what I mean? Got some good shit, so we were able to overcome the bads, but man, were they crazy.
Yeah, man. I think definitely like, at a certain point, it's like, the father is the protector of the family, should be, so once that's missing, it's like, that there is a backbone structure that's gone. And as a kid, being scared of mom only lasts so long.
Yeah.
You know after a while she can't physically really hurt you no more.
And if you caught running,
no matter
it's
how
like,
much,
yeah,
no matter
yeah.
how much you love your moms, you always look up to your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. Like, your dad is the, not saying the more harder worker because it's equal, you know what I mean? But, like, he's just a man.
Yeah, he's a
know?
man.
You
He's a
guys
man,
use
right?
the same restrooms in public.
yeah.
You know
Hey,
what I mean?
and
a man-
that is something actually that it's funny that you brought that up because I heard like a little like story about just something simple as that of a kid not having a dad, a young boy, and his mom couldn't show him how to use the restroom. You know what I mean? Like something simple like that. There's little things, but overall, I mean, looking at the statistics that say
and
you're
it
more
also
likely
has to be with comfort. Like, your dad has a dick. You know what I mean? Your dad's going to show you, like, hey, this is how you do this.
This is how you use
You
your
know what I mean?
fire. You're a fireman.
This
This
is
is how you use your
do
hose.
this. I'm going to show you a few times, and then you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? And how is your mom going to show you? Fucking Wizinator? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
I remember, because I remember my dad's kind of the first one that kind of really got me into sports, kind of started teaching me things and tried to teach me how to, work on the cars and all this other shit before everything went bad between me and him. But yeah, and like I said, he was like really my hero. Like he showed me a lot of shit. He gave me a lot of games. Some of it not really because he was a square. So as far as like by the time I got kicked out 15, 16, I learned a lot of shit, more other shit, out there, being.
Oh, yeah.
But I think definitely a father's presence definitely leads to a lot of the stats that show, you're most likely to drop out of school. If your dad's there, you're going to be scared of getting your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? For a little while. It's going to work for a little while.
Man, I remember the first time I smoked weed. Like, my mom's was there and she didn't even know. But if my dad would have been there, guess what? And him being a correct father because not
if
the
he
dad
was a
that
good
I had.
father. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I would have got fucked up. I'm pretty sure I probably would have never smoked weed again.
Yeah.
But
Now look.
you know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Dad. But I mean, yeah, it is and then this also includes people that might have their dad but had a bad relationship with their dad.
Yeah.
Like he was there but he was abusive or he was neglectful or whatever the case is, and you just didn't have a positive male role model in your life. I mean, because real men are endangered species right now. You know what I mean?
We definitely are, man. And it's up to us to change that.
Yes.
It's up to us and the generation that's coming to change that shit because, fuck, man, love your kids, man.
Take care of your
what I mean?
fucking kids.
Love your kids
man.
because you don't want your kid to end up all weird and confused and just not knowing about, you know what I mean, the ins and outs and the rights and the wrongs of the world because, oh man, trust me, there's more wrongs than there is rights.
Yeah.
And
way more.
Way
more.
You just gotta be there, man. Guide them, and not in the sense of like, you want them to have everything you didn't because in that case you're just gonna make a fucking spoiled ass kid.
It's hard not to, man. It's hard not to. I mean, I am the one out the three of us that have a kid. My kid's about to be 11 in April, and I mean. The relationship with my dad and seeing a lot of my friends and not having dads, I know I have a whole bunch of friends. I'm sure a lot of people listening have, or they are one with themselves where they either didn't have a dad or their dad was a fucking piece of shit, and it definitely takes a toll on you. It takes an effect on you. So I made sure to as soon as I had my kid, nah, we rocking tough right here, man. It's gonna be my right hand. I could never imagine doing that shit. You know what I mean? But so as far as we'll kind of break down statistics, I would say see drug usage. It says you're more likely to do drugs without a dad. Mm-hmm. I really haven't dabbled in too much, but I know that I popped a couple thizzles when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, no, I've definitely done some shit I'm not proud of. I've definitely done a little coke. You know what I mean?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Definitely done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Nothing too crazy. I never fuck with heroin and never will.
Yeah.
And never done crack, never done nothing crazy like that. But just the shit, you know what I mean? Just the drinking and doing the coke and doing all this crazy shit that, you know what I mean?
I think drinking's one of the easier ones to get into when you're younger. And that kind of opens up the door for a lot of other things. So you start getting faded, and you're like, well, I'll try a little bit of this, But I think, yeah, like a good dad would obviously steer you far, far away from that. Not even put you in it, let you be in environments where that's a possibility, you know, and the connection's there.
Just want to throw that out there. I know a lot of you guys have dads who work hard and then go home and drink and do all that stuff, you know, but just think to yourself, like, is that shit healthy? You know what I mean? Like, has there been times where that fool just started fucking yelling at your moms, or, you know what I mean, doing some crazy shit,
started swinging
you know
for no reason,
like, you know what I mean, like,
okay, elbow off the top rope,
unnecessary, you know. I'm not saying you shouldn't do, you know what I mean, you shouldn't drink or any of that shit. Do what you want with your life, you know.
I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't. Let's put that out there.
I'm trying to make more conscious people, better kids, but just not as a kid, you know. Don't show.
I think a lot of this comes down to, like, I mean, it's been proven that kids, men, I mean, little girls, little boys, and all those in between, you know, have a very rough life when you don't have a connection with a father. It's been proven time and time again, and this is no slight at all to the women, because they're doing the best they can by themselves, you know. So shout out to all the single mothers, the real single mothers,
all the single ladies.
Yeah, you know
all
I mean,
the single ladies.
Shout out to my moms.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that really put the family on their back, but
the ones that work the 3 jobs, the ones that have to go to night school, the ones that get no sleep, the ones that have to do everything to provide for their kids, man.
And still take them to school in the
morning.
But
not the ones being whores to provide for the kids.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
That's not a good example. Like,
not the one that not the one they're saying leave Jerome alone. Don't.
Oh yeah, hey, just go in the room on the tablet.
I get you gotta get your money how you get it, but
mommy and her friend gonna go watch a movie in the room.
Shit,
oh, it's a different friend every day. Huh?
Different friend. Got a lot of friends, bro. It's popular.
Yeah, why they all boys? Why don't you have any girlfriends?
Next thing you know, the principal.
There's a couple girlfriends.
Next thing you know, the principal in there, man.
See you school Monday.
You'll be blasting.
Yo, mama sure do care about your schooling.
Yeah,
she had a good talking with your principal. You getting all good grades and you off in that early.
Not those women, but the ones that really, you know, are, you know, doing this shit. It is hard, but at the end, I mean, I hate to say it, and it's like, once again, no blame of yours. It's us as men, but we're failing as people taking care of these fucking kids. Like, you wonder why there's so many ratchet ass kids out there doing ratchet ass shit, because one, their parents don't really give a fuck. Maybe they're working too hard. They're not even home enough to take care of their own fucking kids. Yeah. But a lot of it has to do with fatherless children and men that don't give a fuck about their kids. I can't have friends personally that don't take care of their kids.
Yeah, no.
I can't. Like, you ain't loyal to your fucking kid. How can I expect you to ever be a loyal friend to me?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, and I don't give a fuck what the relationship with the mother is like. I don't care if she's the craziest hoe. Then you get your paperwork, homie. You go down to that courthouse. You get your paperwork. You show them that you want your kid in your life. You know what I mean? That this girl's making it difficult. You never, ever, ever give up, bro. No matter how hard it gets, there's no excuse. That's your fucking kid, man.
With 2020, there's cameras everywhere. Record that shit. Send it to the court.
Yeah,
they'll believe that, because in court they're always displaying the good side of them, and you for damn sure that ain't the good side of them. You should have some proof. Take it to the fucking court. Get your kid. And
I understand, you know, I believe me, man. I've been in child support office early in my earlier years, and it was not because of the mother of my child. I actually have a wonderful, wonderful relationship with the mother of my child. No problems whatsoever. 10 years strong, like going cool. So, but I have seen and I know what guys go through sometimes, trying to be able to see their kids. But it's like, you might get frustrated. You might feel like the world is against you. And guess what? The system is designed against men. Every fucking government system is designed against men. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's welfare, housing, all this extra shit. Like, men don't get all that shit. Men don't get this child support, all this extra shit, unless you prove, like, that the mom's like a crackhead. And you're able to prove it. You know what I mean? Then you'll get custody. You'll get all that shit. But, like, there's no excuse for any man not to be involved in a kid's life. I still don't understand how it's a thing, man. I don't understand. I can't, for the life of me, I don't get it.
I never understood it either, man. It's like you got one, basically your main important job, you know what I mean? Is to take care of your children and watch them grow and basically, you know what I mean, just like build a legacy, you know what I mean, within your family, you know what I mean, build something that's gonna last forever, you know what I mean, even for generations and generations, you know. But that shit, there's no longer. You know what I mean? That shit don't exist anymore.
Crazy.
Generations don't exist because there's no dads, there's no grandpas. You know what I mean? Like
no uncles.
Yeah,
They're locked up
you
or
know,
dead or
In
strung
some
out.
cases, the grandpas are the dads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you know?
that generation is slowly dying too, because now we're 3 generations
Yeah.
deep into fatherless children.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of aunties and fucking grandmas and fucking, you know, it's just it's ugly to see, man. Like, it's sad because
And it's all for ignorance. You know,
Yeah.
it's all for ignorance because
just-
you know, a lot of us are a product of our own environment, but we have the mental capacity to be like, yo, this is not us.
Yeah, like, how
Let's
do you
get
not
the
know?
fuck
Like,
outta
nah,
here.
I'm not gonna be like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's another stat they showed too, was that kids with no dads are more likely to also be an absentee father
Yeah.
if they are a young man. You know, and come on, man, we already know what's up with girls with daddy issues. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Every guy knows, and girls don't be in denial because you know a lot of those girls too.
It's all over social media.
You know what I'm saying? The girls with the daddy issues. You know, if you just, I mean, you're, as a father, that role, it just like a mother being the nurturer and whatnot, cannot be replaced, you know what I mean, by the other. So that's why I kind of take a little bit of offense, probably because I am a proud father, that, you know, when people come around, like when girls try to get on Father's Day and stuff, like, nah. Like, you're not a mother and a father. You're just a really, really, really good mother. You know what I mean? Because you got to do a lot more weight. But you can never replace the essence of a father.
Yeah, no.
It's just, you know what I mean? We're here. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be there. It's
And I want to say it's a different love, you know, because your mom is gonna like nurture you and love you and, you know, tell you all these nice things that you want to hear, and your dad is not gonna tell you those things.
yeah.
You know, if anything, he's gonna tell you not to believe any of that shit. You know what I mean? Because none of that shit is true.
Repress
Yeah,
the emotion.
the world's a cool place. you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
when you go to work, there's no daisies and rainbows, motherfucker. You're gonna sweat for 8 hours or for however long your shift is.
Yup.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's why I tell my daughter right now. She says she want to go to school and stuff. I was like, "What do you think a job's gonna be like? You'll be there 8
Fuck.
hours and doing a whole bunch of stuff you
oh
don't
yeah,
want."
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But
But you get paid for it.
yeah, I mean, you getting paid in knowledge, man. See, that's another thing
It's
too.
good, but
Like
knowledge
education.
from a book. Knowledge from a book is not a good education system. It's not.
It is as a base, as a foundation, but eventually you got to get hands on and get a little more
But
active.
the teachers are teaching from a book where you're just reading the book out loud.
It doesn't make the information not true though.
It doesn't, but you could just tell them, but it's the same shit as them just getting the book and doing it themselves. What's
Well,
the
yeah.
difference?
I mean, that's like online
What are you
courses.
saying? Kids can't
And that's
read?
another reason why we don't have great teachers, because the teachers that, you know, that were great are probably already all old, and the ones who are coming up, they don't care. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a job. You know, so like,
Yeah.
there's no importance to want to like actually teach kids.
You got
It's-
fatherless children teaching fatherless children how to be more fatherless fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a overall fucking snowball
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, because people grow up not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, regardless of what it is, like, any little thing affects somebody. You know what I mean?
I mean,
and then
put it this way, for people with strong fathers, can you just live your life in that household with your father, an active father, and just not give a fuck? Hell no.
No.
That motherfucker gonna put you in check real quick. Not
Oh,
in
yeah.
his house.
Yep.
You ain't about to be motherfucking not giving a fuck. I'm gonna show you what not giving a fuck is like. You gonna get that.
His
Like,
house, his rules.
Hey, that's what we're here for, because honestly, like, a lot of the issues, like, in society right now in general, a lot of the softness is going on, and like, we can't lie, yo, these kids are soft, the sports are getting softer, everything's getting soft. Oh, you're offending me. Oh, you said mean words to me.
You're
and
sad
all this-
over words.
You know, words, you know, like,
Yeah.
fathers
Words.
are always gonna let you know, like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, the day my daughter comes home crying because someone said a comment on Instagram or something that was mean, I'm gonna be like, are you serious? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't do... Believe me, I've been punched in my face. That shit hurts way worse than words. I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you.
Oh,
Sticks
yeah.
and stones.
You know,
Sticks
sticks
and stones.
and stuff. Kids don't even know what sticks and stones. Go up to any 6, 7-year-old kid right now and be like, yo, sticks and stones.
yeah.
But I'm
Record stop. Like,
Silence.
what
They're
is
gonna look at
that?
you like, what the
May
fuck
break
are
my
you
bones.
doing? What are you
But
doing?
words? No, will never hurt me. You don't know this shit. You don't know I'm rubber, you're glue. What the fuck?
you don't know if you keep fucking with me, I'm gonna punch you.
Right? Like, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
don't know any of that.
They don't. That's the thing. Like, kids are growing up oblivious to all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
they're just living their life, not knowing anything. besides the little tablet and the little toy reveals that they're watching
Yeah,
every fucking day.
Slime and
which
toys.
is one of the things that just like irks the fuck out of me. Like if you as a parent are allowing your kid to just watch fucking YouTube all day without any parental like supervision on what the fuck they're watching, you're a scumbag.
Bruh.
Straight up.
VeggieTales all day. VeggieTales all day.
I watch stuff with my daughter, and she used to want me to watch stuff with her, and now she hates me watching things with her because I'm always pointing out everything like, oh my god, you know if you did that, you'd be in trouble, right? Oh, hey, you know if you talk to me like that, I would smack you, right? Like, and she's like, okay, Dad, I know it's just a show, it's just a show, and I'm like, all right, as long as you know it's just a show, you don't act like that in real life, you know, you got to be there to check that, otherwise. They are on that 6-8 hours, you know?
Yeah.
I'll let my daughter go on for like an hour at a time, and then you gotta go play in your room. You gotta do something else, go draw, go color, go read.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get,
Express your creativity.
Exactly. You know, but that Roblox game is kind of like along the lines of that. I do Roblox. It's this game that kids are on.
Is it like that shit like Minecraft?
Kind of like Sims type shit. You
like
can build your own little
Bloxy?
house and decorate it.
It's
and
online
shit.
too, isn't it?
It's online. You get to play
I heard
games
shit
against
about
other
that.
people.
That chomos were on that shit.
Oh, she already knows. She ain't allowed to contact nobody and talk to nobody.
Okay.
You can play a game with someone, but ain't gonna be no chat. She knows. Like, I'm on it. But that's what I'm saying. That's a father's presence.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that moms don't do that too, but my daughter knows I don't play. I don't ever go back on no word. If I say you're done for the day, you're done for the day. There ain't no 2 hours later, I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to. I'm gonna be good. Can I do? Nope. You got until tomorrow. She'll go cry again in the room. Go cry about it again. But let's be honest. Most moms are suckers for the, Mom, I'm sorry. I love you. You're still my best friend. Like, can I just use your phone real quick? Okay, but you gotta not be yelling no more, okay?
Yeah, no,
like,
see, and that's...
Promise?
Promise.
I get that, we love our kids to the max, right? I don't have any kids, but, just speaking, for everybody else, I would hope you would love your kids, but you would do anything for them. But when it comes to things like that, like Max was just saying, like when they grow up in life, then they start doing that in their jobs. Then they start doing that in school. Then they start doing it in places where they, try to see who they can get it away with, and that's not a good example because sometimes that leads to some dick sucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times.
Yeah,
guys and girls.
You know what I mean? And that's just demoralizing. You know what I mean? And then you grow up all fucked up, and then next thing you know, you can't get the job you want, and then next thing you know, you're pole dancing somewhere in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know, like as a young child, I mean, those formative years when they're very young. It's very important. They need to have both parents, mother and father, they need to be taught good habits and good, things, because that's another problem is like also a stat is fatherless children are more likely to have teenage pregnancy. So what does that lead to? More kids having kids that don't know shit yet. By the time you actually start learning some shit in your late 20s and 30s and you look back, you're like, oh, damn, I got some game that you didn't have at 17. Guess what? Your kid's already like 12, 13. What are you going to teach them now? For 13 years, you've been on some bullshit. So it's like, it's just a fucking vicious cycle. And it's like, I honestly don't know what the solution is. I think a lot of it has to do with us as men holding other men accountable. Why would you even be around or have a dude eating at your table that don't take care of his kids? As a homie, if that's your friend, you got to check that motherfucker and be like, homie, I can't even fuck with you if you going to just give up on your kids and be like, fuck, I'm going to pay child support. Fuck it. I ain't tripping. Nah, like, because that's like a character flaw. So we as men got to hold other men to that standard. We can't make excuses for other dudes. Oh, you don't know. This nigga's baby mama's hella crazy. That's why. Nah, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll take you down to the courthouse right now and get that paperwork out. That's what it is. If you're really going through some shit, I got your support. I'll write a little letter to the court saying that you're an outstanding father for what I've seen and what would do out to help you out. That's what real friends do and real men do for other men. But motherfuckers are making excuses. Why? Because they all want to go kick it in the same garage and smoke weed and fuck the same bitch. You feel me? Like, and they don't give a fuck about their kid.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy, man. A lot of it has to do with culture too. Because in minority percentages are a lot higher.
Oh yeah.
Than the Caucasian percentage.
Definitely.
And
it all just goes back to kind of like the roots. You know what I mean? Because like Mexican culture, like
they're popping them out young over there.
Oh, and they're
you a woman at the quinceañera.
and some of their attitudes is kind of like well, I don't give a fuck type
Yeah,
of
I don't-
attitude, you know, and that's so crazy.
What about this? What about the teenage girls or siblings, right? In a household with no father, the mom's at work. What turns into? I pretty much raised my little brothers and sisters. I know I can raise a kid.
Yep.
I know I can have a kid, so they don't give a fuck about popping a kid out 16, 17.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm saying?
and see that-
I already cook macaroni and cheese for them every night. And I mean, I know how to be a mom. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You know,
no,
like,
and it's
cheese.
crazy because I have two older sisters and they were both pregnant at like 14, 15, you know, and I had to see their struggle, you know, and wanted to say like 25-30% of the time they didn't even want the kid, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know, not that they didn't love him or nothing, but
They want to have one
yeah,
at that age,
like
at
they
that
were,
time.
they just, you know what I mean? They wanted to live life and go do what
As
know
they
what I
should,
mean?
to be a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, and sometimes that meant that I had to watch the babies and do all this stuff, you know, and I love my nephews and all that, you know, but it's just like, shit was even, you know, shit was hard for me. Like, what the fuck? I was a kid watching a kid's kid. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that?
It's the cycle.
You know?
It's embarrassing,
So
man.
that's why, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to teach these kids, you know, not to be like that. Teach them better. Teach them to be strong. Teach them, you know, to have a Mamba mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A warrior mentality. You know what I mean? To just, you know, get your chicken. You know what I mean? Get your money. You know, always provide for your family and just, you know what I mean? To your circle. You know what I mean? And not have crazy friends or nothing crazy like that because all that shit just brings you down. You know?
And learn when to say no. Just
Yeah.
say no. Just
Oh man, I run shit. My kid don't have no. I run shit. You have a say, you have a word to express how you feel, but I always tell you got to come with something. You can't just cry about it. You got to tell me why it's not fair and what you think will make it fair.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We'll have a dialogue, but at the end of the day, I'm the end all be all. I am the dictator. I am the man of the house. I decide what goes on. The kids don't run shit.
I'm a big believer in like earning shit, you know. So like whenever I have my kid, like for any little thing that he would want or she would want, they would have to earn it, you know. And like, say they wanted a toy, PlayStation, you know. If they wanted it right, you know, I would buy it for them, but I wouldn't give it to them. They would have to earn every piece. They would have to earn every piece.
Just gonna put it in a locked glass case like TikTok.
Yeah,
This
you
shit's
know what I
right
mean?
here
It's
whenever
right
you want to
there,
buy it
man.
off me.
You know, it's like right there, bro. You know, you can earn it. You can earn every piece. You know
Every
what I mean?
piece.
Every piece.
I'm gonna give you a
yeah.
controller.
Yeah,
can
that's
sleep
it.
with it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's it, man. And I bet you, by the time you know, the few months go by, that fool would be a better kid because of that.
I mean, I think it's all about working hard. I think, you know, when my dad did come through, he did, I feel like, instill great morals in me at a young age, thank God, because I was on the path to ratchetness for sure. With my mom being a young, you know, she was a teenage mom when she had me, and then I had my brother who's like maybe like 2 years younger than me, but like my mom would be all faded all the time, passed out, hungover. So me and my brothers be wrestling, jumping off shit. You know, we leave the house and go in the little apartment plaza in the little field right there, just play with all the other kids. We were little snotty nosed garbage pail kids, you know, like that was us out here eating dirt and shit. You know what I mean? Somebody told me that's where peanut butter came from when you dig deep and it's the clay. I said, "Ooh, I love peanut." Oh, that wasn't. They got me. They got me.
Man.
Damn,
But,
you never watched the History
But
Channel.
if you would have had your dad, he would have been like, "You fucking idiot."
Yeah, well, see, the thing was, like, I feel like I was headed down a path, like, if I would have grew up out here without a dad in Salinas, it would have been bad for me, you know? So when my dad did come get me, and he got full custody of me, you know, because my mom didn't show up to the court, and it was, like, cool, my dad took me away, because I was always, like, you know how it is when you visit a parent? It's always fun, you know, because they ain't seen you for a while, they cash out on you a little bit, let's go get an ice cream, let's do, oh, yes, I love seeing this guy,
Yeah.
then when you start living with him, it's not like that no more, it's not every day.
The perks go away.
Yeah, for sure. So that's the situation I was in when I did start living with him, and then my stepmom's a total bitch, and I fucking hate her, and I do hope she dies. Let me just put that out there. My sister is also a
I don't
mini
know who
bitch.
she is, but
Hey, it
lovely
don't
lady.
matter. Rah rah, it's on. It's green light. It's green light. You know what I mean?
Rah, rah.
But if anything happens, I have nothing to do with nothing. I have not been in contact with none of those motherfuckers for very, very, very many years. But that situation kind of boiled over. So in the end, my dad ended up choosing a bitch over his own flesh and blood on some shit that he shouldn't have. You know, and he gave me a weak ass explanation for it and whatnot. So like ever since then, I've been cool off him. But then I had a kid. So when I had a kid, at 23, I decided I'm gonna be the bigger man. I ain't talked to him for a hell of years, but I'm gonna give him a chance to be a good grandfather to his granddaughter. even though he was a shit dad, in the end to me, all right, that happens. He pulls some foul shit. So once again, never again. I haven't talked to him since I was like 25. So it's been coming up on 10 years almost. You know what I'm saying? And but that shit kind of fucked me up because I don't know what's worse because I didn't have it in your guys' situation. But like I had a dad with a great relationship with him, and then some shit fucked it all up. You know what I mean? On some cat shit. I don't know if that might be as bad or worse or better than not just not having one and being adapted your whole life to just not expecting, not a thing to you.
Man.
I mean, because you had yours for a little while, right? And both of you guys had yours for a little while.
My dad just liked women, just loved women. And,
as he should.
And
he should.
And he just couldn't settle down. But then again, he, from a young age, he always had WAP, so he never really had a reason to grow up.
Just had money and fast life.
Yep, and he lived the fast life till his last day. So it's like,
see, my dad was all fucked up. So like as a kid, he was just all fucked up. His mom didn't want him.
Like, so you were a little demon semen.
Nah, basically, his mom abandoned him, gave him away and shit.
Yeah, so he had his own issues with parents.
Yeah, so he was all fucked up. So when he met my mom, I don't know, how they fucking met or whatever, but
it was a cold
night. It was what I mean. Whatever they ended up, having us and shit.
There was like,
and he was cool for a minute, man. Cool for a minute. He had all his shit together, and everything was working. Fucking pretty good job. He had Impalas. He had, what I mean.
So I guess that's kind of something that I share with you that I'm wondering is like, how did that feeling go from your dad being your hero to your dad being someone you can't even respect to this day?
I mean, I seen who he was underneath the skin, man. You know what I mean? Underneath.
So do you feel like he was never that good guy you thought he was? Or
no, he definitely wasn't.
Never.
He never was. It's just all disguise, man. That's all it was. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, where is he at now?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like that, he only hits us up when he needs something and shit. Like that was all broken down and can't even walk and all this shit because of drugs. You know what I mean? And he's not even 60. You know what I mean? So it's like, if that's how fucked up you are, bro, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen him since I was like 12, and I haven't talked to him in years.
So what is looking back and kind of looking at yourself for both of you guys? What issues do you think it caused within you growing up?
Fuck, man, everything.
What do you think like came directly from like pops just not being there no more?
Fuck, man, just the discipline.
Yeah,
just
the
discipline in me thinking.
You're like, no one can tell me shit now.
Yeah, nobody told me shit.
But it was
the
the power of like me being able to do whatever the fuck I wanted. And see, like growing up was rough, because we always grew up in like these project neighborhoods where you had to be tough, or you got fucked up.
And you were the only boy in the house once you left.
So it's like, you start hanging out with the wrong crowd. You start becoming, like I said, a product of your own environment, and you start fucking lashing out. You start doing shit that nobody tells you it's wrong, and you don't know it's wrong because you think you're just having fun. You know what I mean? And then you go down the wrong path, and then you find out that you really don't have friends. So then all that shit starts to happen. So. It played a big role, man. It played a big role, and definitely, in, like I said, like in my sister's life too. Because if he would have been a man and just stepped up and been a real father, then my sisters would have never have gotten pregnant at the age of 13, 14, 15 or whatever it was,
Or if they did, they might have just like accidentally fell down the stairs one time. So, what I mean?
No, then there would have been some fucking hell to pay, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know
Why
what I mean?
Why are the hangers missing?
Damn.
Just the wire ones.
Yeah, but that's a topic for another one.
Yeah, that's another topic for sure.
But yeah, man, it's a big factor, man. It's a big factor. Like not having your father in your life is a big factor, because I know growing up as a kid, I saw all my friends playing catch with their dad, and then I would just feel like shit.
Oh my god, my daughter, she because me and my daughter, we've been I call her my best friend. I'm not one of those parents that believe that you shouldn't be friends with your kid. I believe you should be your best friend with your kid. It doesn't mean let him get away with nothing, but to have that comfortability of like, I can tell my dad anything. We talk about anything. So like my daughters, we've been like rocking for tough, I remember the first time, I want to say it was, she's in 5th grade now. I want to say it was about 3rd grade. The first time that she noticed or heard of another kid or kids in her class that didn't have dads.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it. She just told me one day, like, Dad, so-and-so in my class, she doesn't have a dad. And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, that's so sad. Like, she doesn't even know who her... She's never even known her dad. She doesn't even know her dad. She just kept saying that, like, she doesn't have a dad. And I'm like... Damn, but like I could tell, like to her it was surprising. She didn't never know that was a possibility that that people didn't have dads, you know, and not because they were dead, they just don't have one, you know. Like it's crazy, and I think like I as the years progress, I always tell her like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of kids that you're gonna run into nowadays that don't have dads, you know.
Or moms, and it's their grandma's taking care of them.
Yeah. I mean, as the statistics show with fatherless children. It's kind of crazy that, and I think it shows the importance more so of fathers is the statistics for motherless children are not that bad. Mm-hmm. When it's just the dad raising the kids, which is not as often. It's way more rare.
And shout out to those dudes too. You
know? Yeah, shout out to y'all too, man.
The men that are taking care of the children.
But most of the kids that come from a single father household end up still more successful, going to college, staying out of jail, all that stuff too, with the mom missing. But in situations where it's the dad missing and it's just the mom, the statistics are bad.
It's because I'm telling you, the dad has all the discipline. Because, man, if mom's mad at you, she gonna grab the sandal, the chancla, you know, and she gonna whack you with it. And it's gonna hurt for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But when your dad come home and he gotta fuck you up with the belt, you gonna remember that ass whooping for the next 2 weeks, and you ain't gonna want another one.
You still gonna be,
you know, like, you ain't gonna want another one, you know. And I'm a big believer in good discipline. You know, not like abuse. Just beating the fuck out of your kid because he said some disrespectful shit.
Yeah.
You know, like you know what I mean? Like the whole part of discipline is disciplining correctly, so it teaches your kid something. It's teaches them a value and a lesson instead of fucking instilling fear into your
speaking
kid.
of, that's a good segue into what are some of the worst ass whoopings you've had to take, and was it from your mom or your dad?
See, I grew up without a dad. My mom wasn't that straight. I did whatever the fuck I wanted. I didn't get beat, so.
And it shows.
Yeah. So I don't give a fuck. So that's not something I could relate to.
Damn.
I got. Fuck, man. I mean, I don't know. From telephone wires to hangers to fucking brooms.
Oh, yeah. For all the younger viewers, there was a time when there was house phones that actually had cords. So,
yeah.
You know, that was used as a weapon.
If you ever got beat, you would have known.
Yeah. I mean, anything that you can grab and smack man. Was pretty much usable.
And you wouldn't be able to call for help.
Nah, man. Basically anything that was in front of them.
Yeah, anything within arm's reach.
You know,
you get thrown or smacked with. My dad didn't play like.
But half the time I got fucked up because of my dumbass sisters. So I just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all listening, I love y'all, but y'all was stupid, and I got fucked up because
this
of
got
y'all.
abused because of you.
Because of you,
dude. My dad, I used to get in a lot of trouble in school, and I think a lot of it did have to do with like my dad being gone for 3 months. It just be me and my bitch ass stepmom. Every day I hated life with her, just me and her there because she's a whole different person.
Why is that? Where was your dad?
He was out to sea.
Oh, okay.
You know, so he'd be gone, a month or two. He'd be, gotta go fucking on a boat to Australia, on a boat here, here and there, up and down the coast, wherever. So he'd be gone for a couple months at a time, and it'd just be me and her. And by the time he got home, he would only hear of a couple months of me fucking up.
Yeah.
So instead of being like a welcome home, it was like, yo, I heard... The last 3 weeks, this happened. Yeah, so shit. I'm getting whooped all the time. Like my dad's giving it to me like for a while, man. It got to the point where when the spankings and stuff kind of stopped working, I got like a little bit bigger, maybe like 11, 12, and I could take it. And I was still talking back after, trying to be hard, I don't even hurt, and I'm like, get my ass whipped. Then he started like looking at books and stuff of discipline and stuff. He would come up with crazy shit. I remember he used to make me kneel on tile with like a phone book over my head, and like I wasn't allowed to let my arms bend or else I'd, just get a couple lashings type thing, you know what I mean? Or I remember one time he kicked me in the ass with his steel toes and shit. Or
Damn.
he tried to wash my mouth out with soap because I got in trouble for talking in class. So
I mean, the mouth with the soap shit, that shit.
yeah,
that
but
shit
he
happened
peeped this. I thought I was smart, right? And I go, you can't do that. That's child abuse. It has chemicals, right? Because it's soap. He's like, oh, okay. He gets a double shot glass. Pours a whole bunch of Tabasco in that bitch. It said, this ain't, you know what I mean? And I had to take it, and I don't really eat. This is probably maybe why I don't really fuck with spice too often, and definitely not no hot
Turn
sauce.
you into a girl.
Oh,
man.
bruh. The thing about it is you just start coughing and sneezing it back up.
Oh.
It doesn't stop because it's in your nose and your
Everywhere,
throat.
yeah.
Oh, my God. But I think still that a couple of those probably saved me from getting shot. You know what I mean? Probably saved me from being strung out on drugs, possibly, you know? I feel like my mental has always been strong enough to avoid that, but I do think that those ass whoopings along the way kind of still brought, I'm still, even though I wouldn't have seen my dad for, a month, which was in my head, I'm like, cool, I don't got to see him for a month. I'll take that one to ditch school today. You know what I mean? To go do this and this. And that's part of, what led to my trouble, because if I did have him in the household every day, I'd have to answer to him by the end of that day. It might have made me think differently, I'm going to have to see him at 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't want to do this today.
Catch me outside. How
You
about
know?
that?
But I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, it's March. This nigga don't come back till May. Oh, yeah, what's up? Who trying to do what? Especially because me and my stepmom beefing. I want to be home anyway. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And I thought I was, doing that. So, I mean, I could see the effects just even that it had on me and my mentality. You know what I'm saying? Then when I didn't fuck with him no more around 16. I was out on my own. And shout out to all my friends that let me stay on their couches. R.I.P. Grandma Faye.
Yeah, shout out to all y'all, man.
The ones that, it does take a village sometimes. And I had some people that looked after me. But from that point on, I did notice a change in my attitude and mentality when it was like, fuck my dad. Fuck this dude. And I kind of went from decent to just, it was, I don't know, man. Probably the violence, I think, is another big thing. Unfortunately, there are, and like we said, not just absentee fathers, but fathers that are there and just fuck boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about the dudes raising their kids to be gangbangers because they're gangbanging? They're like 3-year-olds wearing rags and shit.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with
that. That type shit is just as.
But see, that's exactly what we're saying. All those kids doing that to their kids don't have a dad.
They didn't have a dad.
And
yeah,
that's what we need to change.
Yeah, for sure.
We get that. This happened for a while, but let's end that shit. Let's end that shit. Let's put an end to that. Let's raise our kids the proper way. You know what I mean? Let's love them, and let's just be there for them, man. Because at the end of the day, the kid is a part of you. You know what I mean? And fuck, man, you want nothing but the best for that shit. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. I mean that's being a dad at first when I was, like I said, I was 23 when I had the kid. I didn't know too much. The more years passed, I became super all the way in on this shit, and I think it's instilling those morals, but also kind of getting them ready for the real world. I tease my daughter all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff I say to her might be considered verbal bullying in school. But, she just got sick. Her throat's a little hoarse, right? So I told her, hey, you sound like a little boy. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, I do. And I'm like, yeah, you do. See, but I make fun of her. So then when she goes to school and someone's like, you sound like a boy, she's just like, yeah, my dad already told me that last night. You know what I mean? It's not it doesn't hurt as much. Because a lot of this stuff right now is just words. But a lot of these kids don't have fathers that kind of give them that tough love.
And we got to teach kids that words don't mean shit.
They don't. But what a lot of mothers, at least the ones that I've met, and a lot of them I know of many different ages and races, they're ready to ride for their kid to the point where it's like, instead of just teaching their kid, there's words, let them kids, who cares? They're just trying to hurt your feelings. They're going to the school. Let me talk to their parents. How can you tell my daughter she's fat? Well, I mean, man, she's 420 pounds and she's 8 years old. That's how, you know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Have you thought of sumo?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Little Terry. Shout out Terrio. So it's like, instead of just being like, let it go off your shoulders, the whole kind of vibe right now is a lot of these kids are soft where it's like, you hurt my feelings and that's not right and I'm going to tell. Instead of just being like, toughen up, that's all you got? Because a father's going to teach you, who gives a fuck? Now, once they put hands on you, different story. Mm-hmm. But words, who cares? Yep. Especially when people are aiming words at you to offend you. then you could just be like, use that Diego Sanchez force field real quick. You feel me?
Force field him.
You know what I'm saying? Force field it up. I mean, we are the backbone of society. I feel like as men, I do feel like a lot of the media and a lot of things designed right now are to get rid of the man, you know, unfortunately. But we as men can never have no excuse for failing. Nope. I think that is a characteristic of a real man is like, you got to keep going no matter what, especially if you have children.
Yeah. Hey, teach your kids to work hard too, and not to be lazy. Because even me as a grown man, sometimes, fuck, man, I be working hard, but sometimes I be catching myself slacking, and not in a crazy way, but in a way where I know that if I had better discipline, I wouldn't be doing that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's just like, you know, little daily improvements. You know what I mean? Daily improvements that, you know what I mean, you can improve on.
Yeah, I think we all need to hold anyone accountable. So like, you know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of internet challenges and shit out there, and a whole bunch of dumb shit that these kids do that I feel like you must not have a dad. As soon as I see some shit, I'm like, oh yeah, you ain't got a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And if you do, he's probably a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, what the fuck are you doing,
What are you fucking doing?
Come on, man.
For the girls and the boys, they're doing dumb shit out here, and I'm like, wow, like nobody whoops your ass at home for sure. And if they do, they ain't doing it hard enough. Yeah, they're scared. I don't want to hurt them though.
I just want to leave marked.
Oh, you gotta leave them bitches. The thing is, you leave them on your ass, and they can't pull their pants down for anyone else to look anyway. So you know what I mean?
We're just gonna put down the fence.
Exactly. Yo, whoop them on your butt. There you go. Can't nobody show you nothing. I think that's I think we pretty much got the message across. I mean, my challenge to every man out there, every man and every woman also, this goes for you. Don't fuck with no niggas that don't take care of their kids. Shun them. Don't be their homies. Don't have them with you on the block smoking weed, doing all this shit. Don't be fucking the niggas. For all the bitches out there, you guys are also adding to it. You're fucking niggas and providing for niggas that you know don't take care of their kids.
Not only that, but get with a man who's thinking of a job in the future. Mm-hmm. Not some dumbass nigga who you ask him, so what do you want to do for your future? I don't know.
I'm gonna be a rapper.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Some dumbass lame ass excuse of a job. You know,
I'm 17 with 473 tattoos and 12 piercings. I'm gonna be a rapper.
Half of them are my face.
That's my babe.
But on that note, love your kids, man.
Love your fucking kids and raise them kids,
right.
man.
Yeah, raise them right, man. Love them every day.
Yep.
Mixta Boyz out.